Welcome to the Power to Inspire podcast. Today, I'm really excited to be talking to you about the topic of confidence. I think everyone at some point in our lives ends up struggling with confidence or self-confidence. And so this is a really fun topic to explore so that I can help you improve your confidence however possible. First, what we'll do is we'll look at what confidence is. We'll also explore whether we can learn to become more confident, access certain limiting beliefs that may be holding us back, think of how we can curate our energy to become more confident, and then ultimately I'll teach you how to practice confidence in your own life. And I believe that you truly deserve to feel confident. You're extremely worthy. We all are. And sometimes we just need a few tips to get there. So, first of all, what is confidence? Confidence comes from the word fidere in Latin, which means to trust. So actually, confidence has a lot to do with trusting, and self-confidence in particular has to do with trusting ourselves. Not only trusting ourselves, but also trusting that we have everything it takes to accomplish whatever it is that we put our mind to. And that is where we can get into this circle of self-doubt if we don't trust that we have what it takes, okay? You absolutely have what it takes. It's just a matter of making sure that you have the right mindset and energy to feel that confidence that you always have access to, all right? So, looking at your feeling of confidence right now, I understand that you can be put in certain situations like public speaking or dancing or meeting someone who intimidates you that might knock your confidence. Okay, so let's just look at a confidence scale. So as a general rule, you probably have an operating level of confidence in your life, okay, from 1 to 10. 10 being extremely confident, 1 being not so confident. So just for the purpose of the exercise, let's say your normal level of confidence is a 5. That's fine. All we want to do at the moment is just be real about where we're at, because sometimes we feel we're at a 1, but we're not actually at a 1. We're at a 5. And so that's okay. So let's say we're at a 5 and we have potentially an event or coming up that may make us feel less confident. Perhaps it dips to a 4. But what we want to do is practice confidence so that when we do go to those events where you want to feel confident, you're able to hit higher notes like a 7 or an 8, or maybe eventually even a 9 or a 10, right? So take a second to just think about your level of confidence. And it's like a very intuitive question. It's not really logical. So just come up with a number. It's a subjective one. Okay, so that's where you're at. There's likely room for improvement, okay, as we all have. And therefore, what we'll do is we'll identify certain limiting beliefs that may be holding you back from entering into your most confident self, okay? These limiting beliefs are probably subconscious, but we're trying to bring them into your conscious so that we can then realize that they don't actually hold as much weight as we may be attributing to them. So when you think of times where you have felt insecure or not so good about yourself, we all know that feeling, okay? Because at the end of the day, confidence is a feeling, right? It's not about how we look, what we do. There are a lot of successful people that don't feel confident, or people who are in great shape who don't feel confident. So that's just proof that confidence is a feeling, okay? So think about the feeling that you feel when you feel insecure. It feels weird around here, probably in your stomach. It's not a great feeling. Maybe it feels a bit like anxiety. Okay, sit with that for a bit. It's okay if you feel that way sometimes. And when you do feel that way, you can just take a deep breath and breathe into it and acknowledge the fact that you're feeling those feelings. When you exhale, picture yourself releasing that insecurity, anxiety, or whatever feeling that you're feeling that's not a feeling of confidence, okay? What are you thinking in your mind when you feel insecure? You're likely thinking that you're not as good as you should be, or not as good as someone else, or lacking something fundamental in order to, that's preventing you from achieving success or feeling confident. So just come up with that narrative that goes through your head when you feel insecure. That's a limiting belief, okay? Now, limiting beliefs come to us through the environment that we grew up in, our conditioning, people saying things to us that probably hurt our feelings. And our job here is to identify those and really ask ourselves, like, is that true? Like, am I fundamentally lacking something? And I'll tell you the answer, you're not, okay? Confidence, luckily, is something that can be learned. Psychologists agree, it's not something you're born with. It's something that you learn. And anything you learn, when you practice, you get better at it. So what we're going to do here is consciously start to practice confidence, even when we don't feel confident. That whole saying of fake it till you make it, it actually works, okay? You start to embody it, and I'm not saying to be inauthentic. You actually start to feel confident when you fake it till you make it. So some limiting beliefs that you might have, identify those. Now let's look at who we truly are, okay? So at the base level, we are all the same. Like, every human being is a combination of mind, body, spirit, all trying to figure out how to live this life as best they can, okay? And navigate whatever comes up in their experience. Let's flesh that out a bit. We are our mind. So our mind is a product of our thoughts, okay? And oftentimes our thoughts can lead us to not feeling as confident. So these might be thoughts that are based in fear, that are come from the ego. Our ego is the part of us that is fear-based and is trying to protect us. So the ego might be worried that you're going to make a fool of yourself, or you won't perform as well as you should. Then in your mind, you also have your thoughts that come from your true self, okay? True self is connected to spirit. So mind, body, spirit. The thoughts that come from your true self will be thoughts that are encouraging, okay? When you repeat certain affirmations like, I've got this, I have everything it takes, I'm just as worthy as everyone else. Those are thoughts that come from your true self. So we have our mind, and we're going to try and practice thoughts in our mind that align with the feeling of confidence, okay? So these are positive thoughts, affirmations, self-talk that is compassionate and nourishing and encouraging, okay? So that's a shift that we're going to try and undergo here. Secondly, we have our body. Our body obviously is our vehicle that we have to experience this life in. A lot of how we experience our body has to do with our levels of energy and what we're doing in our life to take care of our well-being, okay? So this is how I explain it to my kids. We're going to look at a scale of energy and well-being. Again, we'll use a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being really on the low side of energy and well-being, and 10 being exceptional, okay? And there are different things that you can do in your life that will make you go up or down on the scale. When we're talking about our body, part of how we're going to feel confident in our body is feeling good about our body. It doesn't mean we need a perfect body. There are no perfect bodies anyways, but ways to improve how we feel about our body, there are certain practices that will help us get there. So if you look at a scale of how you feel in your body, let's talk about well-being, energy, and picture the baseline as 0. This is actually how I explained it to my children. So it should be fairly simple. So picture you're at a baseline of 0 and you want your energy and well-being to soar to 10, for instance, okay? There are certain things that you can do in your life that will get you there. You probably know what they are. Like, what makes you feel good? If you're feeling flat, maybe watching a funny movie, calling a friend that uplifts you versus a friend that drains your energy, eating healthily as opposed to eating a lot of processed foods, going for a walk, any type of exercise will inevitably make you feel more energetic and well. The meditation, for instance, these practices raise your energy level. So you're basically maybe at an 8 or something when you do these practices. Listening to a song that you really like, that for me, that's like the biggest hack. If I'm feeling low, I'll just put on a song I love, and right away I feel the energy and well-being incrementally raise. Again, baseline being 0, certain experiences in your life may knock you down below the baseline. So if you have a night out drinking, you have a great time, the next day, you're probably not going to feel so good. You're maybe at a -3, 4, who knows? There can be major life experiences that that make you grieve or angry or experience sadness. And I understand that it's normal. You'll go under that baseline, but part of what it is to be a resilient person is to be able to bounce back from those. Okay. Obviously, we have to give time to heal when things like that happen. But again, identifying little hacks in your life that you can do or put in place in order to raise yourself on that scale of energy and well-being will greatly improve and help you in how you feel in your body and in yourself, which will lead to much more confidence. Okay. Lastly, spirit. We are all spiritual in nature, whether or not we're religious. Quantum physics has proven that we are all energetically connected. And so you have this part of you that's spirit. And this is where we are all the same again. Okay. Every living being has this. And it's the part of us that's like the miracle of life. It's perfect. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's love. It's everything positive that you can think of comes from your spirit and also connects you to every other living being. And so when you look at someone that you might think is super confident, at the end of the day, like you're pretty much the same as them. They may have more experience. They may have achieved certain things that you admire, but we're all working with the same basics here, right? And so it's about learning how to get there. And I promise you all have the potential to. All right, let's practice confidence a bit, okay? So we just alluded to the thought of thinking about someone who you think is confident. So take a second to think about someone that you find confident. Someone maybe that you relate to, for instance, that you admire, okay? Have the picture of that person in their head. What about them makes you think that they're confident? So confidence isn't arrogance, right? Confidence is probably more peace. That person just feels comfortable wherever they are. They're happy to just embody themselves, do whatever it is they're doing without questioning themselves. They're probably okay making mistakes. They probably understand that failure is part of success. They know they're not perfect. They may have had certain successes, which reinforces their confidence, and you will have the same, okay? So take that person as your confidence icon, all right? And then what you'll do is you will practice feeling what it would feel like to feel like them, okay? So for example, if you're about to go dancing and you're about to go onto a dance floor and it's crowded, and you might feel a bit insecure. You think about your confidence icon, say it's J-Lo, okay? And you think about how she would feel, okay? Then you'll use what I will refer to as the 3 B's, okay? Breath, body, belief, okay? So you'll take a deep breath, fully come into your body, move it a bit, just feel really good and relaxed in your body. Posture is one of the main parts of confidence. If you think of anyone confident, they're not like this. They're always standing in a confident manner. Breath is a great hack that you can use at any time. Just turn to your breath. You could be in a meeting and just take a deep breath, consciously knowing that you're embodying your confidence authentically. Breath, body, belief. Okay? Believe that you have everything you need in this moment to succeed. You do. You have it all. And in the end, there's no need for anything else, no need for doubts or fear, because everything's going to be okay regardless. All right? So you enter the dance floor, take a deep breath, think of your confidence icon, feel good in your body, and you just believe that everything's okay. And consciously telling yourself this over and over, you will start to believe it. All right? It seems funny, but it's a powerful practice. Another confidence hack that we should think about is how we put ourselves together. Okay? Again, because confidence is a feeling, we want to feel good. And part of feeling good is also looking good in any relative circumstance. It doesn't mean that you have to be all done up while you're at home taking care of your kids. But part of feeling good would be, for instance, something that I always tell new moms is schedule in time for a morning shower every morning. It sounds so simple, but you would be surprised how many new moms don't even take the time to do that. When you shower and you feel clean and you put on clean clothes, even if it's a tracksuit, you will feel better about yourself. Your self-confidence will increase. If you're going out, dress appropriately. If you're going to a dinner, it doesn't have to be expensive what you're wearing. There are a lot of affordable choices, but you should be happy with how you're put together because that will also increase your confidence. Stay within a relatively within your comfort zone. Don't wear things that are super outside of your comfort zone immediately because that might make you feel a bit insecure. But at the end of the day, when you look in the mirror, there has to be a sense that you feel good about yourself and how you look. There's a saying that sports teams use, look good, feel good, play good. There's definitely something there. Like these guys train all year round to have strength and performance, but there's still an element of when you look good, you're put together, you feel good, and then you play well, you perform well. Fundamentally, whoever it is that you're interacting with, again, is the exact same as you are. So even if you might be young and you're in a business meeting with people who have more experience, they were where you were at one point, and they're all the same as you. And therefore, you shouldn't let them intimidate you. You should just look at it with curiosity and with a desire to learn from them, right? And your worthiness comes from within. It comes from your spirit, your shine, your sparkle. Don't ever dim your shine for anyone else. And you have the choice to accept comments or potentially criticism that other people give you. You don't have to take everything on board. Not everything is ultimately true. And so if it resonates with you, great. And if it doesn't, you don't have to listen to it. And you are extremely worthy. That's your birthright, is worthiness, happiness, joy, and peace. And we all have the ability to experience this with a little bit of practice. Sometimes people say, it's hard work. I don't see it as hard work. It's fun. Okay, so let's look at this with a bit of a more of light-hearted energy. You just have to see it as a fun challenge, laugh at yourself. Don't take things too seriously. Life is far too serious to begin with. And, just take it a step at a time. And with practice, you'll feel your confidence rise extremely quickly, I believe. So just enjoy the process. Check in with me on social media if you have any feedback or comments. Tell me how it's going for you. This is a topic I love helping people with. So it's been a pleasure talking with you guys today. Make sure to subscribe anywhere that you normally get your podcasts. And thank you for joining me for this episode of The Power to Inspire.